If you're looking for a product or service or even a great coffee shop and you're not using the words near me in your search, chances are you're missing out on 30 to 40% of the best returns. And if that's the case, you're probably not doing the right thing for your search either, so people can find you. Hi, I'm Finn Griffin and welcome to the Unselling Philosophy. This week we're going to look at how search works and how we can make it better for you. We're going to shift the language and look at hyperlocal. We want to be hyperlocal with our content so you can win where you are. The problem is, in the past, traditional marketing and traditional websites have spoken about our products and our services and our brand promise. And our brand promise usually has words like transparency and trust and integrity and being open and honest. Everybody uses them and they don't mean anything. They've become very generic. So how do we do that? We differentiate, right? We talk about how our solutions and our products solve problems. Great, we can get that right. But what's happening is the tech has caught up with that. And when tech was talking about, and we've been talking about it for ages, about being hyperlocal, the tech now can do that for you. And so the engines are really focusing on where you are. So traditional thinking is gone about the way we talk about our brand promise. If we can talk about our solutions, but we also talk about location, that's really important. Okay, that's what we're going to do. And you need to be hyperlocal in everything that you do. Otherwise, you're not going to show up in those search results. So how the heck do we do that? First thing is, do you have a Google My Business profile? They can be painful to set up. Sometimes it's difficult to get them to work, but you need to do that. So if you haven't figured it out how to do it yet, let's have a chat. We can help you with that. Because the business portfolio is really important, right? That page, that profile gives you your listing online. It's your virtual storefront that most people are going to find before they find your website. You can list your products and your services, your opening hours, and you can do things like geolocate. You can ask for reviews and manage reviews off there, easy. And you can put up content with new posts. And so this Google profile is now another social profile that you need to manage, but it's probably one of the most important ones, so do it properly. If you work in 4 suburbs, make sure you mention them in your content so people know that when they say near me, you show up, okay? When you're asking for reviews, it's really important to ask for joy-based reviews. So what do I mean? I mean, what is the solution that you provided? So when you're asking for a review, ask your customer to do a couple of things. Please say the job that we did. How does it make you feel afterwards? Hopefully happy. And where did we do the job? They don't have to talk about their house, but they can talk about the street or the suburb, because that again makes it location-based, and we want to be hyper-local. That's how we win. The more specific that those reviews can be for you, the better, and the more that you're going to win with those hyper-localized search results, because remember, that's what the algorithm's doing. And then you need to kind of dominate the pack within your area. So put a pin down where your business is and look around you to see how many other businesses there are that do what you do. There's probably a few, because we're kind of hyper-saturated with products and services in New Zealand and pretty much in the world. There's a lawyer in every corner. So which one do you want, right? You want to be the one that stands up. So maybe you need to do suburb-specific pages. Talk about being a lawyer in Remuera. Talk about being a plumber in Manly, whatever it is, okay? Talk about it from the perspective of where you are. Make sure your content is geolocated so you can add in the place where you are. If you've got pictures, try and target them with geotag information. And when you're mentioning or talking to people, make sure that they are then hyper-local to where you are. So I solved this problem, I brought joy to people, and we did it in this suburb. That's the way to win, okay? Also think that there's an offline world as well. So a lot of work is going to come through referrals. And those referrals are going to be someone who you've done work for in a particular area referring you to someone else, probably in a very similar area. So how do you do that? You make sure you show up in that area. Again, it's what content you put up and geolocate the products and services that you work with. If you're an accountant and you deal with people everywhere, try and just mention in your blog or your content that, hey, I've got a client in, and talk about the place where they live. If it's tradie kind of stuff, that's easier because you're doing a job in a certain town. And if you're doing marketing, I can talk about a business that's got a national presence, but they're based in. And that is another way to show up. So always talk about where you are. It's probably the most important thing you can do. Also, your social pages are now indexed through Google. So again, where it is, the problem you're solving, the solution you're given, the joy you've brought. Ask for the reviews on those social pages and it will be indexed on Google. Go and have a look. Go and have a look at a business and you'll see that their social shows up as well. Okay. Best thing to do, pick one suburb. Start in one place and tell that story. Go back through all your blogs and go back through all your social. And if you can, edit them and talk about the location where it happened. Mention it, find a street, plot it on a map, whatever you need to do to make sure that you're showing up for that place where you are. Start with one. Get that right. See how that changes your search results and see if that changes your business. So what's going to happen is you might get more and more people visiting, and that might skew your results and more traffic, but not as much pull through. And that's cool. You're getting more people to the site. They're not converting as much. When you've got that problem, then you can work on the website and try and convert them. You need more call to action buttons and you need stuff like that. But unless they're coming in the first place, there's no point in converting them. So start with one thing. Start with getting the location right and pick one suburb. Okay. Think about offline relationships and think about making your social pages work. Okay. We're going for hyper local. That's the message, because we want to win where we are. Okay. So thanks so much. Next time, we're going to be talking about a digital audit. And what that means is, how do we take the AI tools we've got and turn them into productivity tools with workflows and ideas that help you, as opposed to using them to generate AI slop or giving you the kind of content or outcomes that you could probably just do a Google search for. How do you actually use the tools properly? Because most people aren't. They're using them as an info directory rather than a problem solver in your business. So that's next week. I'm moving it up to one a week. Same place. If you could like, comment, share, that would be amazing. And please give me some feedback as to what you thought about this piece of content. It only makes it better for me. So have an amazing week and we'll see you back here next time. Cheers.